Good evening, everyone. This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust MS Latur, India, organizing daily international webinar series. In this series, we are gathering here every day at 7 p.m. to listen from the speakers who are those who are invited from India and abroad. Every day, we are listening the knowledge on various topics related to education, law, health, environment, etc. On today, 20th May, we have invited Dr. S.R. Madhan Shankar sir, who is founder and CEO of Ashwinis Herbs and Foods. Also, he is director of Rashmivat Edutech Private Limited, Coimbatore. And his topic is entrepreneurship for development of eco-friendly and healthy product. I welcome you, sir, from my organization, from all the participants. Our today's speaker is very active in his life. He is founder, CEO, educator. At the same time, he is approaching the social engagements to give the importance of the eco-friendly, healthy products to use of that. I welcome you, sir, and we are very eager to listen you from today also. Before that, you are also the speaker on this dais. Thank you, sir. Please welcome. Sir, you can start your speech by unmuting yourself. You can unmute yourself or rejoin again. We are not listening any sound from you.
Sir, good evening. Good evening. Is it
Good
audible?
evening. Okay. Yes, please.
Yes, this microphone was muted. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
So I'll share my PPT. Just
Yes.
1 minute. PPT is visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I'll make it full screen. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's visible now, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So shall I start?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Professor BETKAR, for giving me an opportunity to speak again in the international webinar series. And today I'm going to give you an input on entrepreneurship for development of eco-friendly and healthy products, which is actually my own experience. So let me start my lecture with what is called Sustainable Development Goals. You know, the UN, United Nations, has put forth 17 Sustainable Development Goals way back in the year 2015. And all these Sustainable Development Goals revolve around health, well-being, and creating an atmosphere which will be inclusive, which will be sustainable. At the same time, we will be able to use the resources in the best possible way and transmit a sustainable green earth to the future generations. So with that goal in mind, for example, if you see most of the sustainable development goals, say goal number 1 is no poverty. Goal number 4 speaks about quality education. Goal number 14 speaks about life on life and water. 13 on climate change. Then there's one goal which speaks about food security and healthy individual. So when you look around all these sustainable development goals, health both for the community as well as for the environment is given a very big impact. So now it is very important that we also concentrate on developing products to meet this issue of sustainability and to align ourselves with the issue of sustainability. So I would always start my lecture with a quoting from Abdul Kalam. He says, if you want to shine like a sun, first burn like a sun. Unless you do hard work, unless there is some input from oneself, products cannot come into the market. Today, you see, there are a lot of products available in the market. There are products which range from products that can be used for the children as well as products that can be used for the geriatric people, that is people who are above the age of 65 or 75. And each product should have its own uniqueness. It should have its own plus and minus. So unless we have a deep thinking into our mind, development of products will become a big question. And he always says, thinking is the capital, enterprise is the way, hard work is the solution. So with this quote, let's move on to another very important quote which I always like by Subhash Chandra Bose, is that one individual may die for an idea, but that idea will, after his death, incarnate itself in 1,000 lives. So most of the products that we have today were all ideas that were generated by one people or a group of NGO or a group of people. Most of the products. And today we have a huge array of tribal products and rural products as well coming up in the market. Most of these rural products and tribal products are having a deep-rooted indigenous flavor in them. So which means to say that these products are per se very healthy and they have a good impact on the well-being of the individuals who are using these products, whether these products are used as cosmetics or whether these products are used as food or food additives or value-added products or whatever, they will have a good health as against the chemical incarnated or chemical impregnated products which are available in the market. So we need to really think about developing products which will be very sustainable and which will also help in solving a wide variety of health problems and societal issues which are facing today's 21st century. You know, broadly, we classify these challenges as 21st century challenges. And most of these challenges, 21st century challenges, revolve around health and well-being of the subjects. You see a lot of people getting cardiovascular diseases, lifestyle disorders, women getting affected by polycystic ovarian syndrome. Many such diseases are coming into the picture. Added to that, there are also emergence of new disease. One another very important stuff which we need to remember, which our Pradhan Mantri also spoke in the Mann Ki Baat, recently held Mann Ki Baat, is about the growing antimicrobial resistance. So most of us, even if you become mildly sick, we resort to consuming antibiotics. And you know, today pan-drug resistance and multi-drug resistance are very, very high. And we will feel the pain and pinch of this antimicrobial resistance only when we land into an intensive care unit. So once you are exposed to a whole range of antibiotics, and finally when you end up into an intensive care unit with infections, say lung infections or so, none of these antibiotics will work for us. So we need to go for a higher combinatorial therapy or something. So being India, we have to be vocal for local, which means we will have to think globally at the same time act locally. We have to also look for a wide variety of alternatives that will be available to us for chemical impregnated products, whether it is a cosmetic or whether it is an antibiotic or whether it is a food product. We should try to look for products or naturally available indigenous items which are safe and which had a long legacy of usage in our system. One such classical example which I will tell you is about turmeric, the wonder molecule turmeric, which has got a small molecule called curcumin, and this curcumin had a lot of properties. For example, it was anti-analgesic, it was antiseptic, it was antiviral, it was antibacterial, etc. So it can be used in food, it can be used in cosmetics, etc. But today we have an adulterated version of turmeric. We have the chemical variant, or we have the chemical impregnated duplicate of turmeric, which is thick yellow in color, and when you apply, it stains you. So creating a brand Bharat is actually the need of the hour, and we need to think how this rural enterprise or how this tribal enterprise or being locally will help in increasing the GDP of the nation per se. And we will have to align all our developments to the sustainable development goals. And we need something called as creative destruction, which is nothing but revolutionizing the pattern of production is actually the need of the hour. But today we are at a very important crossroad that taking a viable decision becomes a very big question for most of us, because we do not know what we are using. We do not know whether what products we use are correct or wrong. So such dilemmas are there. So we need some strong action against usage of such products. And also we need to have an action plan to see how we can develop novel products which are aligning to the sustainable development goals. So, we all know that there was a clarion call called Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is nothing but the vocal for local campaign and creating a self-reliant India. And it was launched in 2020. And the 5 pillars are economy, infrastructure, technology, demand, and a vibrant demography. So the major players in this sector, when you see, are Edutech industry, because education, our society is a knowledge-based society. We are integrated, or the whole country is networked by knowledge. We are not networked by religion, we are not networked by language, etc. But every state, every district, or every small village has its own uniqueness in terms of knowledge. When you look into the tribal folklores, or when you look into the rural folklores, there has been a lot of scientific facts and scientific methods of sustainable living being depicted in their day-to-day life. So it is high time that we take those cues, amalgamate that with the technology, because technology is also very much important, and then we build infrastructure which is suitable to address this vibrant demography, so that the economy of the country or the GDP of the country will rise considerably higher. So this is the 5 pillars on which this Atmanirbhar Bharat clarion call has been raised. And within 5 months from 2020, a total of US $1.2 billion has been raised by Indian startups, which over 40 deals. So this shows how local manufacturing, building local supply chains, and converting local products into global brands can address this issue. So what is innovation now? Innovation starts with a very simple idea. Most of us think this idea has to be great, idea has to be this, but nothing. Even a very, very small an idea which you feel that the idea is stupid may be a wonderful product. So an idea generation is very, very important, where how to generate an idea is to look for problems, look for issues which are unsolved from the vicinity where you live. So that is where you can address the local issues and local challenges. We should not be addressing challenges which are miles away apart from us by developing solutions or by developing products for such things. For example, if we start thinking of cleansing the river Thames, which is in London, I think that idea is going to be very stupid. We have to look into our own systems, our own local areas where such solutions are required, and then start generating idea. So for generating an idea, local observation or observation among the vicinity is very, very required. And then you need to have a clear vision and a process for development of that idea. You need to have a very, very structured experimental method added with creativity, and you should have some inspiration as well. So this will help in the growth and development of the idea into a viable product, process, or a material. So as I told you, the basic steps in innovation involve need or problem identification, where you will have to generate an idea and mobilize the idea and see whether the idea is doable. For this stage, the government is now supporting youngsters and particularly women with lot of funds and schemes where you can even verify whether your idea is doable or not, and they give you funds from MSME. So such impetus is there by the government of India, by MSME, by several incubators. For example, the Atal incubation centers are established everywhere. Even for the children, you have the Atal tinkering labs are available. So ample opportunities are created by the government of India for developing even a very simple idea into a product or a process or a prototype. Then what you need is a basic and applied research. Advocacy and screening is required, whether this idea is doable or not. Some basic experimentation, some basic trial and error has to be done. And after that, the development is required with a very strict experimentation process, where these experimentation process must be repeatable, and it should be scalable, which means when you scale this idea to an industrial level, this product should work. So you should develop an experiment process in such a way that the idea will develop or the prototype will work. And then you have to create market value. Now, before creating market value, we should also know what the idea is going to solve. In few slides from now, I will give you some examples of how we have stumbled upon a few ideas and how we have developed a few products. So the next is commercialization. After that comes adoption and diffusion, and then you will have always a consequence and impact. So here the feedbacks from the customers are required for revamping the idea or for regenerating the idea or for regenerating the idea. So startup ecosystem is actually a success to cherish. And as you know, India is the second largest startup ecosystem in the world, with an anticipated growth of about 10 to 12%. In 2016, when this Startup India movement was launched, we had only about 726 startups. But whereas when you look into the DPIIT website, as on March 31st, 2026, the startups have crossed about 2.33 lakh startups. And the most interesting aspect is that out of this 2.33 lakh startups, nearly 48% of them, summing to 1.07 lakh, are run by women, which means women as entrepreneurs or women as directors or CEOs or CTOs of the startups. And another very important aspect is that nearly 75 to 80% of these 2.33 lakh startups has a CEO or a CTO or a proprietor or whatever below the age of 35. So now you understand that the demographic dividend of our country, where we say by 2030, most of our country will have 65% of the youth population is actually now turning into a reality, where this youth force or the youth power is contributing to the development of the startups and ultimately increasing the GDP as well. So the reasons for success, it's a cost of doing business, size of the domestic market, and skilled manpower is available. And Today, we have startups across all 640 districts. The major states which has got the highest number of startups include Maharashtra with more than 38,600 startups, Karnataka with 22,600, Uttar Pradesh with 21,900, and Delhi with more than 21,100 startups. And out of all this, with an average of 11 jobs is created by a startup. So 7 lakh jobs have been created by startups. And these startups range in a diverse sectors, right from IT, ITES to agri, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, tribal startups, rural startups, etc. So to support all this, there is a lot of startup incubators as well available in our country. And India has again the third largest country with the highest number of incubators, with more than 250 plus incubators clustered around 8 tier 1 cities and tier 2 and 2 tier 2 cities as well. The major ones include Mumbai, Bengaluru, New Delhi, and Chennai are very prominent. And the ministry has allocated 2,791.29 crores to SIDBI for supporting a lot of startups. The most important one is the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, which is very, very prominent. And I'm happy to share that my company has also received this fund scheme to promote herbal startups. And this scheme is very, very easily available to people who have registered in DPIIT under the Startup India scheme. And this aims to promote financial assistance for startups who have got a proof of concept and has a prototype which is available for commercialization, as well as a prototype that is available for product trial as well as market entry. So it's very easy for you to commercialize a product, provided you have an idea tested in your lab or tested at wherever you are working. So this scheme helps you a lot. And again, every state government also has got several schemes. Since I am from Tamil Nadu, the Tamil Nadu government has got a very interesting scheme called as the TNEDII Innovation Voucher Program. There are 2 innovation voucher programs, IVP-A and IVP-B. Similarly, MSME also gives a lot of funds and schemes for the supporting the startups. The Department of Industries of every state government has centers at every district, and they also receive proposals from interested people under various schemes. There is a very particular scheme in Tamil Nadu for women called as TN Rise, and through the TN Rise scheme as well, a lot of women startups are being supported. So likewise, since I am from Tamil Nadu, I give you examples of Tamil Nadu. Likewise, every state in the country has got their own method of promoting startups. So today it's a very lucrative one. So, and as you know, again, the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is an ocean of opportunities and possibilities, where the idea is to evolve as a strong, prosperous and Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this Jan Bhagidari, a countrywide initiative, is also fueling a lot of small local changes which will add to national gains through the Atmanirbhar Bharat mission. So here, now, this is a brief intro about how startup ecosystem is available in our country. And now, coming to the second part of my lecture, where I'm going to talk about development of healthy products. See, today we are flooded with, market is flooded with foods that do not heal, whereas foods that kill. For example, the one that you see in the screen are all classical examples of foods which are impregnated either with chemicals, with preservatives, and with trans fat and whatnot, and with a high degree of chemicals in the name of value addition. But today we have moved very far away from the conventional food system to a convenience food system. So as Dr. Bergman says, anything you take in your body will make you either healthier or sicker. And Hippocrates long back has said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And this has been our mantra as well, because food was an intricate part of our health. And what is health? Health is a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So here, the most important thing is, are we changing our lifestyle towards sattvic foods and healthier food products? So all the sattvic foods help in physical growth, help in keeping the brain development proper, body image proper, and you also need to have daily activities which will help in preventing a lot of diseases. And the sattvic foods is nothing but is a sense of well-being. So today we start our day with a Swiggy or a Zomato packed food and end our day with the same product, either by using a lot of toxic ingredients which are impregnated into them, either in the form of a preservative or in the form of some chemical additive. For example, even breads today are not safe because of the high levels of improver mix which is added into the bread. Honey, as you know, again, honey also has become an adulterated product. Honey, you supposed to have infinite shelf life, but today, because of value addition, honey has also been adulterated. And you will know a lot of case studies about Dabur honey several years ago, which was published by the Center for Science and Environment, where it was stated that this honey had at least 7 to 8 antibiotics in them. Honey per se, in its own nature itself, is antibacterial, and we do not know what fun is there in adding an antibiotic to the honey from an external source. Okay, so that is something which we need to understand in retrospect. And today, you know, the youngest customers in the business, and there are a lot of nutrients, that is fats and sugars, and even the younger children, they prefer eating burgers and pizzas and things like that than our conventional foods. And added to that, lack of physical exercises, spending long hours in sedentary lifestyle, coupled to emotional disturbances, etc., is the present day lifestyle. And what you get out of it is becoming fat and obese. So too much of food, too little exercise, calories in and calories out is not balanced. So obesity is always there. And we always go towards what are called as comfort foods, which are also fatty foods. And today we are now in a stage where we have a host of lifestyle disorders ranging from obesity, diabetes. India is already a diabetic hub. We are also facing a lot of gastrointestinal problems and GI tract cancer, which has risen to about even for 30% in few years of time. Heart disease and cardiovascular disease, polycystic ovarian syndromes, hypertension. Hypertension is very common for everybody, and several types of cancers which we have not heard at all. Coupled to all this, we also have upsurge of infections from viruses. Like, see, recently there is an outbreak of Ebola, there is an outbreak of small variants of COVID here and there. And added to all this, people are not happy, people are depressed, people are not contented to what they have. They want more and more at the stake of health. So health becomes a big compromise. And even in 2015, the World Health Organization predicted that the deaths from the world lifestyle diseases will double by the year 2015. This is an alarming ratio, but a much more alarming ratio to this is that by 2050, they say nearly 30 to 60% of the deaths will not be by cancer, but will be by antimicrobial resistance. That is, most of us would have now developed some resistance to the bacteria, the gut bacteria or whatever bacteria, and because of excessive usage of antibiotics and so they predict that by 2050, most of the deaths will not be by cancer, will not be by diabetes, but the number one killer will be the resistance pattern or the antimicrobial resistance pattern. So in 2023, we founded this small company called Ashwinis Herbs and Foods, with a vision to promote usage of healthy products for a better living. Today, as I told you before, the market is flooded with a lot of products which are chemical based. So the motto of our company is to develop cosmetics and food products which are free of chemicals, or which has got a less quantity of chemicals, or less invasive in chemicals. So the tagline of our company is Swarna for a goal life, and we restore with a motto that we restore golden life for our customers, founded by 3 of us, as you see here. And these are some of the examples how we started developing the products. This is a gold Basma face scrub, which is actually a spent from Ayurvedic waste, Ayurvedic leftovers. The gold particles, that is gold basma, will be used in Ayurvedic preparations. So all the left out gold basma cannot be recycled, cannot be reused for any purpose. So gold being inert and gold having a cleansing activity, we converted this gold basma with walnut, sandal oil, turmeric, aloe vera and raisins into a scrub. And this scrub has got an excellent property of removing black spots, black scars on the skin, and it is very safe for the skin. So this is one idea where we have developed a product from a waste over. Similarly, this is another product which is a strawberry lip balm. We have not added any glycerin or anything into it. It is completely made by shea butter and all natural strawberry extract. We also have a very interesting soap that is almond saffron soap. You can see saffron being added into the soap, and though soap has got lye, the concentration of lye is very less. Instead, we have added a lot of aloe vera base into it. And this is the hair wash powder which we have, which is again a natural ingredient. No chemicals are added. Now we are in the process of converting this into a gel, so that you will be getting this in a sachet where you can mix it with water and apply in your hair. So this is very good for, it can act as a natural conditioner. It is chemical free and it prevents hair fall, and it completely cools the body as well. This is actually from a tree leaf called Albizia amara, which is available in our local region, collected by the tribal people, powdered by them and handed over to us. So there is absolutely no addition of anything into it. And as you know, jaggery, benefits of jaggery, we have 100% pure jaggery, which is an alternative to sugar, and it is chemical free. It's an excellent source of minerals. It's a natural detoxifier, improves digestion. It can regulate a blood pressure and reduces the risk of anemia, also regulate the blood sugar level. We also have 100% fresh black pepper, which has not been extracted in any way. There's no oil being extracted from this black pepper as well. And as I told you, we also market honey without being touched by human hand. And of course, tea is also available with us. And this is again herbal bath powder, which 18 herbal ingredients are there. You can see the ingredients, right? Now we have converted this into a soap as well. And this is again a face pack, which is from a natural flower called avarampu. And you can simply mix it with rose water or curd and apply it on your skin. And this is the soap that we have made from the bath powder, which is converted into a soap. And so what I'm trying to emphasize here is that there is a lot of option for eco-friendly business ideas in India, starting from biofuel plant, solar energy retailers, eco-friendly toys. Today, you must understand the impetus given for Chennapatna toys and toys which are made from woods. So it's very, very important. And the government has also done a program called Toykathon to promote local toy making business coming into the market. And packaging systems, again, we need, though there are a lot of products in the market, we don't have a packaging system because, see, recently the government released a scheme for an alternative packaging system for gutka and pan masala. Because wherever you see in the market, this gutka and pan masala, the cover has been thrown in the streets. So this plastic cover, which is used for packaging this gutka or pan masala, becomes a pertinent environmental pollutant and remains in the soil for several years. So a recent initiative by the government of India is to develop, to come up with ideas for packaging systems specifically for gutkhas and also for the pan masalas. Similarly, when you look into the Maharashtra belt, you have onions being grown in plenty. Still, we don't have a value addition system for onions. So there was an onion challenge also which came into the picture where you can develop value added products from onions. Similarly, jute and cotton bags. The Canara Bank and several banks are giving subsidy for NGOs who can help local people utilize jute or cotton bags and make bags out of them. So this has now become an enterprise as well. And upcycled furniture is again coming up in the market. Even in Coimbatore, we have a complete store with an upcycled furnitures available. And there are a lot of organic handmade products coming into the market. Organic catering is coming up very well alongside with organic farming. And indigenous products from your own region, from the local region or the local market, if you can value add them. For example, we have a product called urud dal powder, which is a very rich in calcium. So particularly for lactating women, women who have crossed menopause. So it's very, very important that women have a rich source of calcium. So this was again a local product which we are making from local knowledge. So if we can convert this local knowledge and scale them up, we will also have a lot of tribal products coming up in the market, which will be very, very safe. At the same time, it will be healthy as well for the subjects to use. So this is another example which we developed. I won the MSME Hackathon 2.0. I received about 10 lakhs grant from the government of India to make a biodegradable spoon. So, plastic spoons are present in a huge number and, they are non-recyclable, they are highly non-degradable, and street vendors particularly use these spoons in a large number. 70% of these spoons are thrown in the streets and they become again a pertinent pollution problem. So the problem statement here was to convert naturally available banana fiber into a spoon. That was our idea. This idea may look very, very simple because there's nothing much big in it, but the pitching was we targeted the customers not in big hotels and restaurants, but our target customers were street vendors where a large number of people go in the evenings and have street foods. And every time you use a street food, you can see this plastic spoon, which is available at a very, very cheaper rate. And even if you ask one more extra spoon, the vendor will not hesitate to give because it is not going to cost him more. And ultimately what we do after using, the spoons are thrown into the streets. And this is a one-time use plastic, which is highly dangerous for the environment. So we, since Coimbatore district has got a large area under cultivation of banana, we don't have a dearth for raw material. So we started using this raw material, and this is the method that we use to develop this product. And the target customers, as I told you, are the street vendors. And this is how the spoon looks like. And I'm looking for an industry to technology transfer this product. And each spoon can be given to less than 0.25 rupees. So it's very, very commercially available. We also did one product with self-help groups in Ooty, in Nilgiri district. We prepared a diet coffee because that region is very good at coffee. So we prepared a diet coffee, amalgamated it with omega-3 fatty acid, and this coffee is now being tested by the coffee board for giving it to gym goers as a pre-workout drink. Most of the gym goers, they consume caffeinated drinks. So you can use this as a pre-workout drink, also as a drink which can reduce the bad cholesterol in you because it has got a rich level of omega-3 fatty acids from natural source, which is nothing but flaxseed. So this is also one product which we are developed. So again, at the nation level, if you take, there are a lot of examples which we can say. This Madhukam is again a herbal sanitizer which was made in the year 2020-21 when we were hit by corona. This was made by tribal woman by fermenting mahua, which is a locally available flower in that market, and it was consultation was given by a scientist and researcher called Samarth Jain. Similarly, in Bengaluru, the startup called Bellatrix Aerospace, they developed a new propulsion system which will take satellites with a more payload. So this called as microwave plasma thrusters. It offers customers the ability to make bigger payloads at a reasonable cost. So this is again a very important startup. You can see two different varieties of startups, one at the rocket science and one at the very lower level, at the village level. It's not a big rocket science, but yet it's a very good sanitizer, an alternative to alcohol-based sanitizers. Similarly, all this happened during the Corona period. You know about this KT Chai Masala, which was done by the 79-year-old lady from Mumbai during the Corona period, and her chai masala is very, very famous. It's available in the online market. Similarly, 100% vegan ice creams. The idea is that all these ideas stemmed out from the household. It was not from somewhere else. All these people had a problem at the house. Even here at my city, at my department, one of my colleague, she made a product from beetroot jelly, and this beetroot jelly product is patented, and she has made a jelly which completely does not have gelatin. It is a completely ready to use product. So this has been transferred to an industry. So her problem statement emerged from her house because her child was very much fancied in eating jellies which are from the market, and she was very concerned about the health of the child. So she thought, why not we use waste beetroot peels and convert them into a jelly? And that went into a success. So the idea of development of most of the products will stem not from some source from heaven or somewhere else. Problems are there at household, problems are there at the vicinity where we live, problems are there at the vicinity of where we work. So a close observation of these problems will help in developing a lot of products. Again, there are some more examples to show this seed crackers and seed sweets during Diwali, leafy straws made from a Bengaluru startup called Evolgia EcoCare, La Fabrica Craft, which is again a biodegradable packing solutions which are available, which can carry liquids up to 20 kg. And you also have planting visiting cards. If you throw these cards, the plants will emerge out of it. And some of the examples of Indian startups is organic tea. Organic India, you know, it's a very famous brand which manufactures herbal teas and supplements. 24 Mantra Organic for groceries. Farm to Kitchen online organic food store. Nisarg Organic Farms, again marketing oils, spices. Satvik Foods, Ayurveda inspired products, and Tamara Organic Wellness. These are classical examples of Indian startups which are emerged in a very few years, and they have been very successful in their market. Now, India, as you know, is now becoming a bit of cynosure for the world, and we are breeding a lot of companies. So what is required in us is we need to have a lot of patience. We need to understand the product pipeline. We need to know what is required by the society, and then develop products which will help in developing a sustainable earth and transmitting a sustainable country to the whole world. So that is what is required in today's day. And I can close my session, and if there are any questions or any clarifications, I can take it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Madhan, Shankar, sir.
Thank you, Ji.
We are very happy for listening from you on the products, its importance, and how the government of India is supporting to the entrepreneurs how India is leading to use this one and how this product is very much healthy and useful for the health of the humans. So your journey is definitely congratulable because you have studied the health problems of the society and you have did a step from you as a CEO for producing the herbal products, those who are very much useful for the health. Now we request Jaivir Singh ji, you can discuss with our speaker.
जी सभी नमस्ते। नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते
सर, आपने काफ़ी अच्छी जानकारी साझा किया, उसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद
सर, मेरा एक ये सवाल है कि आज जो आधुनिकता है, आधुनिकता इतनी बढ़ गई है कि आप और हम तक जो शुद्ध खाना था वो हमने खाया है, जो भावी
नहीं मिल रहा है।
हाँ, जो जैन जी है वो तो नई नई चीजें आ रही है, जैसे मोमोज आ गए, अब बर्गर था, मोमोज मिल गए, और इनको हमारे जो पारंपरिक खाने हैं, फूड्स है, वो बनाने इनको नहीं आएंगे। तो आने वाले समय को आप कैसे देखते हैं स्वास्थ्य की दृष्टि से? जैन जी किस ओर जाएंगे खाने के मामले में?
जी, अभी भी स्वास्थ्य का कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो चुका है। आप जो भी हॉस्पिटल में जाए वो आप देख सकते हैं कि कितने बीमार लोग हैं और 90% के लोग लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर्स के लिए अस्पताल जा रहे हैं। अगर आप उनसे पूछ लीजिए कि उसका खाने का स्टाइल क्या है, हाउ डू दे ईट फूड, सो यू विल नो दैट दे हैव कंप्लीटली फॉरगॉटन कन्वेंशनल फूड्स। जहाँ हम चपाती खाते हैं, जहाँ हम रोटी खाते हैं, आज हम बर्गर और पिज़्ज़ा खा रहे हैं। और जहाँ हम where we used to eat porridge, okay, and now today we eat these Kellogg's or whatever you call. So हम बहुत दूर जा चुके हैं। लेकिन 2-3 स्टार्टअप है बेंगलुरु में, वो स्टार्टअप कोशिश कर रहा है कि हमारे आधुनिकता के साथ कैसे हमारा ये पुराने क्या बताऊं कि पुराने नॉलेज है उसको टेक्नोलॉजी से इंटीग्रेट करके कैसे एक नॉवल प्रोडक्ट देंगे, वो भी एक स्टार्टअप है। आपको मालूम है कि तमिलनाडु में राइस, spent rice, that is whatever you keep in the previous day night, the next day morning is consumed as padaya sadam. So there is a startup in Bengaluru which is now promoting the use of this padaya sadam as a recipe itself. So such startups are there in the market, but लेकिन awareness तो होना चाहिए। awareness कहाँ होना चाहिए वो भी एक क्वेश्चन है। awareness तो हमारे बच्चों के घर से होना चाहिए। माता पिता जो भी वर्किंग लोग हैं आजकल, वो टाइम नहीं मिलते उनको कुछ अच्छे पोषण देने के लिए। सभी कुछ इंटरनेट में ऑर्डर करके खाते हैं। मुझे मालूम है 2-3 फैमिली सारे दिन 3 खाने ऑनलाइन से मंगवाते हैं और खा रहे हैं। तो आप देख लीजिए कि कितने केमिकल्स इसके अंदर हो जाएगा। अगर आप वो पैकेजिंग सिस्टम को देखें, वो पैकेजिंग सिस्टम भी प्लास्टिक है, वो पैकेजिंग सिस्टम भी कोटेड कोटेड कार्डबोर्ड्स हैं। सो कार्डबोर्ड में भी वैक्स कोट करते हैं। सो जो भी फूड आइटम्स आप कितने भी ऑर्गेनिक स्टोर से खरीद लीजिए, जो भी पैकेजिंग समय वो कंटामिनेट हो जाता है। अगर वैक्स या जेलेटिन और जो भी एडिटिव्स वो वैक्स कोटिंग उसमें डालते हैं ना, उनसे वो खराब हो जाता है। तो जो भी आप कीजिए कि मैं ऑर्गेनिक स्टोर से खरीदता हूँ, लेकिन मैं एक अच्छे स्टोर से खरीदता हूँ, वो सब बात सुनने के लिए अच्छे होगा, लेकिन ट्रूथ में वो नहीं है। और सभी लोग इसको मास्क करते हैं। उसके बहुत सारे माफिया है, MNC माफिया है, और वो माफिया भी काम आते हैं इन लोगों के लिए। तो द बेस्ट पार्ट विल बी अवेयरनेस फ्रॉम होम। अगर हम अपने बच्चों को याद दिलाते कि हमारा जनरेशन कैसे थे 10, 20 साल, 30 साल पहले और अब कैसे है, उसको हम अपने बच्चों के लिए करना ही पड़ेगा। स्कूल में ये सब शुरू होना चाहिए और हायर एजुकेशन में भी ये कंटिन्यू होना चाहिए कि हम ये अवेयरनेस देना बहुत ज़रूरी है आजकल, क्योंकि हमारे बच्चे 30 साल 40 साल होने में they become sick, and you know there are people incidences of cardiovascular arrest for 24 years old people, 24-year-old person, and so on and so forth. So I think I have answered his question. The only answer is awareness. It has to start from home.
सही कहा सर कि अवेयरनेस तो बहुत जरूरी है। और जो आपने प्लास्टिक की चम्मच की बात की, ये
हाँ।
एक नया ऐसा प्रदूषण है कि
हाँ।
ये हर शादी पार्टी हर जगह पे पहुंच गया है, क्योंकि
हाँ।
इस चम्मच होती थी और ये बड़ी आसानी से मिलती है और ये सबसे ज्यादा खतरनाक है। मैं भी ऐसा मानता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, आपने बहुत अच्छी जानकारी साझी। धन्यवाद सर।
धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद जयवीर सिंह जी। अवेयरनेस का जो महत्व है, अपने पुरानी पीढ़ी जो खाती थी आज नई पीढ़ी के लिए नहीं मिल रहा है, इसके लिए जल्दी उनकी हेल्थ ठीक हो रही है, ऐसा वो सर का कहना है। सही है कि हम घर से अपना अवेयरनेस शुरू करें। और हम अभी इनवाइट करते हैं डॉक्टर स्वानंद शुक्ला सर, ही इज मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर। ओके सर।
Good evening, Dr. BETKAR sir. Good evening, sir. Wonderful presentation you have made, and you started your lecture with the quote of our
Abdul Kalam ji.
Yeah, Abdul Kalam ji, and that is also wonderful. Unless and until we will not burn, we will not shine. So that is a great thing what you have said. And then sustainable goal we started with, and United Nations have given these 13 points, and followed by you have discussed about WHO is saying that health is a complete state of well-being, and not merely an absence of disease. So I think the very important aspects you have discussed, even our what we can say, the health policy also support, all this kind of activities, because we are signatory to Alma-Ata Declaration, USSR, that we had to achieve this target and goals, no doubt. So health policy means it comes from the parliament, and our representatives, pass this. So there is a quite good strength behind this kind of activity. I could learn one thing, that we are having our traditional medicines, we are having certain substances which are used as medicinal substances at the tribal areas, rural areas, as well as in our house also. Our grandma used to give some medication at home. We used to call it as very important. That Dadi Ma's Batwa. And we used to give this medicines, initially before going to the doctors, and the people are getting clear. So that is a very interesting thing, that we are having a great strength, of science in our culture only. So that is a very important thing. If you'll see the Indian dish, there we are putting some slice of a lemon, and then some khatti chutney, that is with vitamin C we are using in our food. We are taking multiple, the dish, Indian dish I'm talking about. So it is a complete food. The rice and dal, they contain protein. The protein which are present in rice, they are absent in the dal, and the protein which are present in the dal, they are absent in the rice. But when they are consumed together, they complement each other. So that is also a science. What we are really following a tradition. Even if you go to the southern part of a country, they are using urad dal and the rice. We in middle you'll find we are using the tur dal and rice. And like that, because India is such a vast country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, you'll find we are having a lot of strength, with us. So we are having medicinal substances. We are knowing certain procedures, to carry, to enhance their maybe nutritive value. Maybe you said that food is a medicine and medicine is a food. So we know how to enhance that nutritive value. When we are fermenting something for idli dosa, Of course, we are doing, we are enhancing its nutritive value and we are increasing the value of vitamin C. So we are following certain traditions, but as it is a part of everyday everyone's life, we cannot identify that haldi, that turmeric, which we are putting in as a vegetables. It is not for the just color, but it is, what you have said, that it has the antiviral properties, antibiotic properties, and you have very correctly said we are developing a resistance against the bacteria are developing resistance, right? And naturally, our antibiotics, which has started from the penicillin and generation after generation, we have enhanced, increased their strength, antibiotics, and the time has come where you'll find the bacteria are not responding. We have to find out culture. We have to find out which medicine, is a sensitive and which medicine person is resistant. We have to identify now the doctors. We people are already using this technique. We have to identify which antibiotic will work more better than others for this person. So we are doing that, and the time will come where you'll find that these antibiotics will stop working, right? We were very happy when penicillin has come in the market, that we thought that now the disease will be totally extinguished from its root and it will not be there. But of course, the story has changed now. And the big bacteria, big bug, they are coming in the market and they are very resistant. So these are the various aspects. But what I feel that there is a lack of linkage between the sources available, the procedures available. The procedures are there, but they are not, taken to that level, industrial level or MSME or some other level, because people are having lack of knowledge about this. And then a very important thing is marketing, that what about the market? If there is no market, no one will go land in the industry. So we have to search for market. The biggest struggle, it is at the market level, what I feel. In one of the exhibition I went, and you have talked about mahua. That mahua is one of the flowers are used to make a liquor in Maharashtra at some tribal areas. But on other hand, it has a medicinal values if it is used rationally, logically, scientifically. I think we can create a wonderful medicine from it. And that is how, I realized the importance in that exhibition. I collected some product from them. When I came back and I want to order it again, the same product which was around cost of 400 rupees over there, right, at the outlet only. But when I came back and I tried to order it, it has costed me 700 rupees. So that 300 rupees, why consumer will think, to get that product at your home. So there are some, you'll find the gaps in between. And my two questions are there. Can we become a meditator or catalyst in between the local people and the industry people? That is one point. Then second point is very important. You have discussed about food adulteration and number of food adulteration, starting adding water in the milk, and then you'll find the cow dung in your dhania powder, and in suji they are putting iron particles, and so many things they are doing. Whenever we are eating food, we are always in a doubt that whether it is the right food or wrong food for me. So that question is always there. Then comes another level is food additives, to increase color, flavor, the appearance. Otherwise, we are adding some points. Whether it is correct or wrong, that is another question comes. There are primary additives and secondary additives. I am not going in that detail. But whether we should go with a natural product or additives, that is another question. And third thing is food fortification. We are adding vitamin A and vitamin D in certain, like flour, atta. We are putting this vitamin A and D we are adding. So why we want to add a natural, artificial micronutrients rather than artificial micronutrients? With the atta itself contain vitamin A and D. So whether we really require this extra doses or not, that is the biggest question, because people admire and respect the fortification is good for health. So we should challenge our science again, and we have to reconstruct the science also, right? So Very correctly. Otherwise, you have correctly pointed out all the aspects because you are already there in the industry. These are the few questions, whether food fortification additives, we should forget about adulteration. But what about these two important aspects? Are we paying attention? Definitely the packaging, the gluing material, everything, has a meaning in the production because it may adulterate, it may become toxic before reaching it to you. So this is very necessary what you have said. So wonderfully placed all aspects, but these are the basic two questions, whether additives and fortified food, we should support it or no. And what we can do for, really making this chain, very little faster. Because nowadays the changes, they are getting attracted toward colorful and wonderful things which appears on the television with some actress. And we cannot hire, at a small scale, we cannot hire such a big shot people like Shah Rukh Khan or someone, right, to make your product realize. So, one advertise comes for 10 times in a day, it hammers in your brain.
True.
It is the only right thing available in the market, and we purchase it.
Yes.
But this traditional medicines, traditional food, how it will really, will become what we can say a part of our life, everyone's life, starting from the younger one to the elder one. That is a big question for us because it will require a good support from the government also. So please comment on this. Thank you very much.
Thank
Not
you.
take much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for a very elaborate summary of what I have told. To answer your question quickly, because it's already age 5, I'll quickly answer your questions. One is the question that you asked, is this fortified food required or not? I'll just take an example of genetically engineered, say, corn or something. See, they actually engineered corn with an amaranth protein. I hope you remember that. A corn came with an amaranth protein. See, when amaranth is already available in plenty, why do you want to do this fortification into another food and say it's a fortified product? That is one thing. Second one, each natural products has got its own benefit. And you also summarize that rice has some protein, dal has some protein, some examples. So likewise, the small metabolites as well as the small molecules, whether it is vitamins or small metal chelating ions or whatever is present in every product, every natural source has got its own fingerprint. So my suggestion would be, if we can develop that into a product without altering the inherent nature of that. For example, the product that we have developed for a urud dal powder is just plain urud dal powder without adding anything into it. Nothing is added. I'm not telling urud dal powder fortified with iron, because urud dal powder has got its own feature. It is rich for calcium. There is no point in putting iron into that and saying it has got added iron. See, when you develop a product, I feel fortification to a lesser degree is acceptable. But fortification to a bigger level, say for example, bringing a totally unrelated protein or a totally unrelated metabolite and fortifying it into a food, I don't think it is acceptable. We have natural sources available in plenty, which you can take it like that. As I told you, amaranth protein is available very naturally in plenty. There is no point in taking the amaranth gene, cloning it, expressing it in somewhere and telling that I'm making a tomato with amaranth protein, making a potato with amaranth protein. It is not required at all, because potato has its own content of starch, its own uniqueness. So making these products, as you said, maybe for all this glamorous outlook, but then ultimately when you look into the inherent calorific value or inherent food value of the product, I don't think it is required. This is one aspect of it. The second aspect of this, many of them, when they fortify foods, they don't study the synergistic role or the antagonistic role. For example, if you take flaxseed, People say flax seeds are very rich in omega-3 fatty acid. But the same flax seed, if consumed at higher levels, is anti-nutritive. So when you do this fortification, we really don't study properly the synergistic role of two components or the antagonistic role of two components which are present in two different sources from where they originate. So our way of cooking, our way of making dishes and foods were all very scientific, as you mentioned. The kind of spice dabba that we have in our houses is exactly an anti-cancer precautionary food. Every little spice that you add into our food is an anti-cancer agent. But too much of that is going to create a different problem altogether. Either it will create a gastrointestinal issues or a colorectal issue or something. But little of all these components in the right amount, in the scientifically validated amount, is very good. So fortification, I would say to a little extent, is very good. See, I told you one more product offer, the hair wash powder. It doesn't require paraben at all. The leaf itself has the inherent property of giving that frothiness. So why are we adding this paraben? Why are we adding this external agent to it? Similarly, when you make roti, why should you add that improver mix, which is KBR? Why should you add? Again, the one which we borrowed from China, the Ajinomoto, that is added in almost all the foods that are available today in the market. So what is the reason? Why are we adding them? Just to satisfy the tongue or the tummy? The difference is that. Are we trying to satisfy the tongue or are we trying to satisfy the tummy? That's the difference. So we should always think that you have to satisfy the tummy and not the tongue. Because tongue is very, very superficial, tummy is very internal, and that has a lot of implications in health status as well. The other question that you asked, how can we integrate industry and the local producer market? That is a very tough question, very tough thing to do as well. See, even as a company now, I say the soap that we manufacture, the almond saffron soap, I have a customer base. People who use this base, they come back to me. Even if I say I don't have a stock, they will wait and take the soap from me. So here, where, as you said, where brand giants have taken over the market. Today, if you say if you take toothpaste, automatically Colgate comes to our mind. We don't remember any other name. Even if you manufacture a small paste which is completely natural, made up of roots, etc., people don't remember them. Similarly, any product you say, for example, if you talk about sanitary napkins, we talk only whisper. There are a lot of healthy sanitary napkins available in the market which are herbal, which do not have those toxic gel in it. So the brand stamp that we have on our side is very huge, and this will take several years of say perseverance and several years of marketing to eradicate this brand moha, what I say, or a brand illusion or brand maya, which we are all engulfed in. So industry connect to the customers are happening at the lower level, but then not as big as what is happening to bigger giants and bigger MNCs, because they have big money, they have money power in them. These small startups which emerge with a good innovative idea, funding is a bigger problem. So to sustain the market, it takes about 2 to 3 years. And there's also a survey which says that nearly 34 to 37% of the startups fail at the age of 2. They fail at the age of 2 because their business model canvas is not proper, or their financial proposition is not proper. So once you have that financial proposition as well, these startups will definitely emerge. And there are a lot of success stories happening in India. Even in Coimbatore, I know there are people who only buy certain organic products in place where they were buying products which were chemically loaded with a lot of chemicals. So such things are available and it's happening. But only thing is we need to more impetus and more, again, it should start with an awareness at home. So again, if that is happening, then I think these products will definitely become India's brand in the future? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You know, I usually ask question to my patients whether
Okay.
swad is important or swast is important. And that is how, you know, the people then answer rightly, but I don't know whether they are following it or not, because
Swad is important.
convincing them is really bringing it into the practice, it is a really big task for me. So wonderfully explained that all these things. And I one more point I want to add, you know, whenever we are establishing such a kind of industry, our lab should be very, you know, strong in this
Strong.
regard, because we should know the laws and legislations, and especially food and drug law, like law is there. So we have to follow this very strictly. Otherwise, it will be again, you know, it will appear like a hurdle for us.
Yeah,
So wonderfully explained, because we don't know where we are cultivating the plant and how we are collecting the source and how people are handling them, how they are packaging them. There are so many sectors in the industry. So it is not, you are doing a great job, sir, because running industry is a very, very great thing. I have seen, you know, the food industry, especially very closely, and it is not a very easy job that you open the shop to morning and close it down in the evening. It is not so. Struggle throughout, you know, 24 hours. So thank you very much for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sir, for suggestions, for discussion, and the keeping naturality of a product, also the marketing situations, everything you have discussed. So it is very great to listen our today's speaker. I request, sir, you can share your product list. Is use what you have with you. I will share with my friends, and also I will use, sir. These are very useful, I think,
Sure,
because
I will send
you are
it to you.
doing this, sir. Thank
I
you,
will
sir,
send
for
it to you.
accepting our. Even yesterday, I requested you and accepted our invitation, because this is daily series, you are knowing, and
I know.
we were need to search these speakers, and quickly you have replied and give a valuable information for all health. Those who are not here, they will receive the information through YouTube. Also, you can share your information,
Sure.
PDF information. I will definitely use of that to my friends. Thank you, sir.
Sure,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
And wish
Thank
you
you, sir.
all the best for your healthy thinking, healthy products, and healthy relationship with the society.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All participants are requested to fill the feedback link, which is available in the chat box.